Yeah, old school.
Good evening.
Good
Welcome.
evening. We've
Going
got
back to an old school one.
we've got titles, we've got music beds, we've got icons, we've got Milo. Hey, hello.
Where's she? There's Milo. Hello,
Just
Milo.
popped up to say hello.
Milo just came
And
to say hello.
and we've got New Music Mondays on Discover TV.
That we do. We're still live on Instagram, but we're obviously not doing an Insta live feed or whatever they call it.
No.
Yeah. So this is just back to the old
It
days.
feels nicer for me because I feel like I've got a full screen. I just all I can see is basically the top of my weird head when I'm doing the Instagram live thing.
Why has it done that? Hey,
I
hang
feel
on.
buying by your side feels better than being underneath you. Eh?
Instagram's doing weird
That
stuff now.
sounded really awkward. Sorry, folks. I didn't.
Yeah,
mean it
no,
that way.
that's very, very weird. I want to see how Instagram's not working
We're friends.
properly.
That's all. We're just friends.
No, it's doing that, Martin. No, why is it doing that?
I don't know.
Stop broadcast.
I feel like is that better than sideways? Just not being on at all? No, I don't know.
Rotate. Oh, now you can scale to fit vertical frame.
Ooh.
Ooh, let's try that. Should we
Okay.
try that?
This
Okay,
is,
let's
this is
start
the
again.
fun part of the show when we talk about other social media places.
Yeah. So now we just check
because
this.
this is only relevant to if you're currently watching us on Instagram. This will be interesting. If you're watching us anywhere else, you don't give a crap.
Okay, let's see
Who
now.
cares?
Hey, wait, I'm trying to find this.
Do you like my? I feel like my voice is quite low and dulcet this week.
Let's see.
I've got a bit more resonance than usual. I could do
Yeah,
a
it
good
is.
impersonation of our do
Okay, let's see. Oh, check. So it's now you can go that way.
Oh, that's better. Oh, that's much better.
So you don't have to do sideways.
It feels like it's worth doing if,
You
you
see?
if
Let
it's
me
going to
see.
be like that.
But we can't obviously bring guests on that way. We can only bring guests in, yeah. But that's actually much better. Maybe one day I'll actually get this right in StreamYard to be able to broadcast live properly.
Connect to Instagram. I guess it's probably not Instagram's fault.
But that's
sorry,
a new-
StreamYard's fault. Sorry,
That's a new function,
that's a good one.
which is quite cool.
That's better.
Ah, okay. Well, welcome to New Music Mondays.
Very good.
As everybody might know, that is normally we tend to go Instagram live now for 3 days, three Mondays a month, or 4 Mondays a month, depending on how
Not sure
many
yet.
Mondays
I'm
there
not
are.
sure yet, but you know, what can I do? You're
What?
in control. So what? Yeah.
What? Are
I
you
don't
are you
know.
not convinced?
It's all right. Like I say, it's kind of
What I like about it, is we get the views.
I like the chat. I think what I miss
Yeah.
is the music.
I do. But that's why at least once a month we go this way. Oh, we'll see how we go. But this actually makes quite a difference because there are people coming onto our Insta Live. Good evening to everybody on Instagram.
Yeah.
Ross Harding will be joining us tonight. Our mate, our buddy, our China, who is now a dad.
And I
Daddy
guess you
Ross.
could say- Hey, Daddy Ross. I
Daddy
didn't know that.
Ross. Oh,
Congratulations.
yes.
We'll
Daddy
come back to
Ross
that.
is going to be coming
I
to
was
join
just say,
us.
anybody who's watching us on this, if there is anybody watching this, anyone who's watching this at any time, hit a like and a subscribe or leave us a comment, especially if you're watching live right now. Obviously, it's 6 o'clock UK. If you're watching us live,
7 o'clock
because
SA.
then we'll know. Because at the moment we're like, yeah, I don't know. Does anyone care? We're on Instagram? We're picking it up. If you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook and you're watching it right now, then say hello. Leave a comment. We'll see it and we'll say hello back.
Can I share this to my Instagram profile? No, it doesn't look like I can. Anyway, so we'll do a bit of a recap of the last month in terms of some of the music that we played with the guys that got music videos. We've also got a couple of new music videos to play for you, as well as an interview with our amazing Ross Harding, who's joining us on the show tonight. And yeah, it's autumn here. Have you guys hit spring yet?
Do you know what? The sun is shining today. The temperature's gone up a little bit. It's in comparison to where we were at last week, significantly better. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And the
It's
clock's
32
gone forward. It's probably spring now.
Yeah.
Properly
Just
spring. It's
30
officially
degrees here today.
spring. It's how much?
30.
30. Yeah. I mean, if you mispronounced that, you'd have about the same as it. It's about 13 here, I think. In fact, that might not be as much as that. Don't know. I apologise if I'm sounding a bit more chesty than I normally am. I've had another bout of the COVID
Of the
nonsense.
the dreaded COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had quite a few. One of our guys in the office also got COVID. Dylan's been down with flu. I'm still holding it together.
Good man.
So all good so far. I really don't need another bout of COVID. That will not be good for me.
No.
But yeah, we are. New Music
I mean,
Mondays.
I didn't get hit hard. I was due at a golf day last Thursday. I rang them up in the morning and said it was a charity thing for a friend. I said I've got COVID. He said I don't care. Come along anyway. I was like, what? So we're all outside. Doesn't matter. But okay, that seems fair enough.
Yeah, there you go.
Obviously, did all do the responsible thing. We weren't shaking hands or hugging or anything like that. But yeah, he said we're all outside. Okay.
A big shout out to Samuel Miller, who's watching us on Instagram. Sam, you
Hello,
need to come on
Samuel.
the show and chat us about some new music that you're doing. I know he's doing lots of new stuff, so he must definitely come hit us up and come for a chat soon. Yeah, but
So yours is in the background. So I went and grabbed mine.
Is mine.
It's arrived.
some-
Look at that. What a deal. 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks.
Wow. You got to send me a picture of that so I can share it with Msaki to show her that we are supporting from around the world. Hang on, let me get mine just so we can do that.
Woohoo! So we can take a screenshot later, can't we? Well, you've kept the plastic cover on you.
Hang on, I'm doing that. I'm doing a screenshot quick. There, I did one. I'll send that to Msaki.
Well, I'm not just showing it as well. I really love this album. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Really good.
One of the classics.
Really good stuff. I also wanted to say a quick. I've had that since God knows when.
What is that?
When did this come out? 1984. That
What
is-
isn't?
It's Roichi Sakamoto,
Ah,
Illustrated Musical Encyclopedia from 1984, which I got into Roichi.
didn't he
Sakamoto.
just die?
Well, that's why I've got it.
Ah,
That's why-
okay,
that's why-
sorry.
That's why I thought I'd mention it. So just
Like, hang on, didn't he just die?
It's yeah, very sad. That yeah, it wasn't that much of a coincidence because I've got that because of. I mean, that's how I sort of knew who he was, is because of.
Yeah,
Because
that's what I was going to say because I know you worked with David Sylvian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another sad loss to the music biz. But
Yeah,
life, eh?
Life.
It's not
Life.
never ending, unfortunately.
nah.
So make the most of it, folks. Make the most of it.
Well, should we get our guest on for the evening?
Oh, why not? He's
Oh,
hanging out there,
let's-
so yeah.
He's hanging out there. He's chilled. We can chat to him for days.
We won't make him wait.
No, here we go. Here we go, Jon Snow. Rossi.
Yes, how's that intro, eh?
Good, eh?
Then the man appears.
Yeah. That's the other thing we can't do on Instagram. You see, we're just kind of going. We're kind of going. Are they there? Are they coming on? Here they are.
I
Are they there?
I went on the Instagram now also to check if it was working better. I see the
And?
the view, the view thingamajig that you did is much better. I'll show you. But your boy's not in there yet.
No.
Check.
Hang on. There you go. Oh, let's see. You're going to come on now. You
Yeah,
should
that's
come on
it.
now.
There must be some kind of time delay.
There is. Let's see. Here we go. We're about to get there. We'll go back to my live. Go to my live. This is rough. There we
This is
go. You're
exciting
on that
stuff.
version. I think maybe that version actually works better.
So that's what I notice when we're on live on Instagram is that you see stuff happening that's obviously happening later than it is actually happening. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even
It
like
does.
Yeah,
people-
I
people
suppose
like-
it has to process and there's a bit
Yeah.
of a delay and whatever.
But even like people coming on live and you're like online, you're saying, "Oh hi, thanks for joining us," and you realise they've
No,
probably been
it's
there for
Mark-
about-
Mark
they've been there for
Zuckerberg is
about 5
censoring it
minutes.
first.
It's like they've gone by the
Be-
time you get a chance to say hello. Anyway,
Been censored first from Mark Zuckerberg. He's just making sure what's going on here.
it's like
Who are
scraping,
these folks?
scraping the data before he can send it.
Now, who are
across
these
it.
people? Let's take their email addresses and spam them.
Here we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So, Rossi, welcome.
Thank
First
you,
and
gentlemen.
foremost,
Welcome back.
congratulations on fatherhood.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
See, that's,
What's
that's
her
the
name?
ul- that's
What's
the,
her
that's
name?
the ultimate creation, isn't it? That's like for those creative people. So, what's the ultimate creation? Yeah, there you go.
Child.
Yeah.
Made a person.
Her name is Catherine.
Fantastic.
Welcome to New
Congratulations.
Music Mondays, Catherine. If you can hear us in the background,
Oh, she's asleep.
that's okay. She can hear us. She can hear
She's
us.
sleeping right now.
She can hear us. She can hear
It's
us.
like telepathy.
Yep, that's it. So, how are you enjoying fatherhood, young Ross?
It's amazing, man. It really is amazing. It's obviously got its challenges. You know, everybody will tell you about the sleep torture, and that kind of thing. But you just take it with a pinch of salt, and just keep doing what you got to do. You know,
Absolutely.
it's beautiful, man. It's been beautiful.
It is an experience, especially those first couple of weeks. and then they grow up.
Well, that's the other thing that people keep saying, man. Is I say people like parents are saying it happens so fast. They
does
grow up
happen.
so quickly. You blink and they go into grade 1.
Yeah.
So you want to just make sure that you savor all those moments, and it's like life lessons.
Yeah.
Life
Oh, yeah.
lessons. About being in the present moment as much as you can, because and I know it's so cliche to say all these things, but it really is difficult to be present, to live in the moment, not like a YOLO. Oh my God, live in the moment, like to be present where you're at.
Right, that's
like
exactly
to be
the
in an
same.
interview with you, Jensen, having a chat tonight and be there.
That's the
Sometimes
quote.
isn't
I read
as
that
easy
quote
as
this morning, Ross. You're quite right. I was reading that this morning. Wherever you are, be there. That was the quote I read this morning.
Because I can be here now and I can be checking my phone and afterwards I need to go and do this thing, and tomorrow I've got these people to get hold of and I've got these. No, whoa. Let's just
Be in the
do
moment.
this,
Let's just do this. Absolutely. We will always love having you on the show, Russ.
I love it too.
And
Thank you,
it's
Jensen.
brand new music. You've given birth not to just a child, you've given birth to a brand new maxi single. I love
Yes.
the way that
Maxi
you've
single.
put
Wow,
it.
a maxi
I
single.
know the way that you've put it. A maxi single.
You guys are vinyl people, so you know about maxi singles.
I've got vinyls all around us.
Yeah, and basically that's what it is. I've got a lot of I can't take credit for the term. The term comes from Devo, the PR magician that I'm working with. What a legend. He said, "Oh, what you're doing is a maxi single." I said,
Okay.
"Yes, it is." Okay. But I came up with the idea of releasing a single and releasing some bonus content with it, and
The B-sides.
it's basically that. And what I said to him is, it's kind of reminiscent of the old school vinyl single with the B-side. And he said, "Oh, a maxi single." Oh, okay. I didn't know it was called that. And we've been getting a fair amount of credit and interest in the term, which I think is cool, because I reckon we're going to start seeing this more often. And I'd like to just point out that, we did this.
Yeah.
So it's not the same as an EP, is it? That would be a different thing.
It's not an EP.
No,
I've
an
seen
EP
it being
would be
called
a
that
different
already.
thing.
I've seen that. Ross's new EP. Oh no.
No, it's a maxi single.
Yeah. Well, you're
Everything
right, it does take me
is
back to
black.
those days when you would have like you have an A side and a B side on a single on a vinyl, but you would get versions of those that might have more than one track on the flip side as well. When you really felt like you were getting some extra
Value.
gear, then it's like, this is special, and not just throw it. Hey, do you know, like those ones when they just stuck an instrumental on the B side? That was annoying.
Or the dub version on the B-side, which was
Whatever,
an
yeah,
instrumental,
it's
basically.
the same song, but it's like,
Yeah.
you've not given us shit about this. You've just stuck another
Or,
song on the B side.
Obviously, if you want to conjure Satan, and you just put the reverse side on the other side.
And that as well. Yeah, of course. Just put it back.
Of course, I mean, just to keep it traditional, just.
I think you were typically supposed to be a little bit more subtle than just putting the whole track backwards, but that probably works as well.
Oh, no wonder we couldn't do it, man. We tried this, no wonder our occult club failed. Jeez, man. Gotta go back to Aleister Crowley's books, read it again. Read the manual properly, dude.
Yeah, 'cause he talked a
Art-
lot about maxi singles in that, actually.
RTFM.
Yeah, of course. Aleister Crowley's whole thing
There's a whole
was
chapter.
the maxi single. The B side on the maxi single's got to have a backwards version, but just a snippet. Don't put the whole thing, because then it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Just have some damn culture.
It's the chapter when he goes out into the fold-out poster version. That's quite interesting. Have a look at that.
So, Ross, tell us about the maxi single, Everything is Black. Featuring
Do you
the
mean
B-sides.
Do you mean the like the lyrical content, or what
Tell
would
us
you
about
like
the track.
to know?
Tell us about the track. How did it come about? I mean, you've been pretty prolific in releasing stuff lately. Another single. Tell us a little bit about Everything Is Black, how it came about, and also the 2 bonus tracks that are on this.
I think the first premise is make music. You know, that's really the first thing. And you said it earlier when I don't know if we were live yet, and you said, hey, we need to learn guitar. I said, cool,
Yeah.
man. So that I can get all these songs out. That's never stopped.
Yeah,
You know,
no, definitely.
since I got into music and wanting to create music, that thing has never stopped. This overwhelming sense of like having something in your head and needing to get it out. And the studio is that magical place for me. And obviously the live environment, actually performing it to an audience and testing stuff live and seeing how it fares. But really it's been about taking songs and that are internal and making them external. And with that comes, for me, a little bit of there's a lot of graft because I want to be able to release music 4 times a year. That's kind of my on the more business side. That's a little bit more like of a PR kind of strategy. But besides all that, you know, the art premise is to just make music. You know, release a lot of music and be able to share that with people. And so we set up like a kind of strategy for music release, and those deadlines are pretty gnarly to meet, I won't lie, but so far so good. We did the first one and it was out on time, so it's working.
Good.
That's cool. There'll be some people who are who might listen to that are thinking that sounds like a very what's the word, a very overly professional approach to writing. You know, I think there'll be some people listening to that. So, you set yourself deadlines and that release schedules and write to that, rather than just sort of digging into the soul, man, and seeing what comes out and just letting it go. Because I think, you know, I'm not sure that I would call it a different approach, but there's definitely people who will go, that feels wrong. I just need to wait for it to come out of me, rather than almost force it to hit a deadline.
Remember, the songs are written in their own time. The deadlines are set, you know, and hopefully the material is there. So there is that element of sort of that businessy side and that very clinical side. But the creation process for me of writing songs has always been very organic. And most of the time I have these songs written like a year before we set the business strategy out, you know. It's about getting into the studio and actually recording them, you know, as opposed to just having these ideas floating around. And I think what a lot of musicians will also forget is that you work in the music business, not just music. Otherwise, the reality is your career is not going to go anywhere, man. And take that from where I'm saying it, like from personal experience. You don't meet the deadlines. You don't rock up to the gigs on time. You don't behave in a professional manner. Then your career is going to tank before it's even begun. You know.
Absolutely.
These things that you hear about, like these mega stars. Remember, like these massive artists are like 1% worth of the industry. You know. So these guys who do whatever they want and rock up to gigs whenever they feel like it and cancel Wembley Stadium because they broke a finger or whatever. That's 1% maybe of the industry who has that much clout who can just do whatever they like. For everybody else, guess what, dude? You got to work. You must work. You must get up and you must go to work. Even at that level,
you only get away with it for so long. You can't keep that going.
And I think today with sorry to interrupt you, Martin. I think today with the music industry and the media landscape, the internet, I think even less so than before, because things like something happens now, like a gossipy kind of thing, a bit of a scandal. Guess what? In the blink of an eye, it's online for everybody to see. You can tarnish your reputation like so quickly, you know.
So quickly, exactly like you say. But I mean, listen, one thing we do know for sure is there aren't very many people in this game in South Africa that probably work as hard at the music as you do. That we know for a fact.
Thank you for that compliment. Thank you.
That we know for a fact, and it's you know, and it comes through in the music as well. I think that's very important, because it's not just about creating the music and releasing the music. It's about the quality of music as well, which you definitely deliver every single time. And that's what we love about the Ross Harding Band. You've actually got 3 tracks on the EP, on the maxi single. I nearly said EP because you said that. Tell me why War Pigs?
Well, that's a great question. I've kind of rehearsed this now because
it's a strange one for you guys as a band, where you normally will go for like the Gary Clark Juniors and the classic blues, but you've gone for a track that, and we got to play a snippet of this as well in this interview. Tell us about why you chose War Pigs.
Well, I think as the band has progressed, it has actually progressed away from more of the traditional blues stuff, and it's sort of leaned into it's always been kind of dark, and my music is like, my music has always been that. I've never been an artist who's able to, Jules, I'm sure you can relate to this, bro. You know, we're sad boys, you know?
Yeah.
I've never really been able to write music with like a pretty butterfly flair to it, you know? It's always had a brooding kind of thing, and it's come with its own challenges. Like my own like mental health challenges and things around really diving into these spaces where you're like, fuck, do I really want to be here now? You know, is this a healthy lifestyle for me to be indulging in? But that is what moves me musically. These kind of concepts are, I do try to leave most of my songs with like a positive outlook at the end, at least, or a solution. It's not so much doom and gloom that there's no hope. You know, there's always a kind of, if you like read into the lyrics and that, you'll find like a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, or something, you know, something more positive. Yeah. But with that being said, we've definitely, the Ross Harding Band has definitely veered into the hard rock realm,
the heavier
a lot
side
more,
to it.
the heavier stuff, you know, a lot more than like the traditional blues stuff. And although that is our root, it was like Matt, our drummer, put it so nicely. I love this. He just had such an adequate or elegant way of phrasing it. He said, if you imagine the Ross Harding Band as the human anatomy, the blues would be our skeleton, and hard rock would be like the flesh and blood, you know, and the muscles. And I really like that analogy. I think that's exactly right. And Everything is Black is a hard rock tune, you know, with the bluesy sort of undertone. And although I've said in recent months that I didn't really want to dive into the song meanings and things, it is a direct stab at like governments and systems that have failed. It is that for me. Within a neat little, if I don't say so myself, like little metaphor about the 4 horsemen and the apocalypse, and you can read into that as much as you like. And with that knowledge in mind, I think that War Pigs then makes a lot of sense as to why we included that, because War Pigs is probably the most well-known and, in my opinion, the best kind of anti-establishment rock and roll tune ever written. So it just fitted on there just with so much synergy that it was almost irresistible to put it on the maxi single.
The maxi single. Well, let's start off with the single. I think let's take a listen for Everything is Black, the first single off the maxi single, and then we'll come back. Yeah, it's. I know it sounds like there's a massive storm heading our way. We've been getting a lot of storms all of a sudden. But yeah, this is it. Tell us what you think. This is Ross Harding with Everything is Black. Here we go. Everything is black. Ross Harding. On New Music Mondays. Well, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Get psyched up for Monday.
That's bloody good.
Thank you.
Can I swear on this show? Fucking hell, mate, that was fucking epic.
Gonna swear on this show, is it? I don't know why you had to do it in a Cockney accent, though.
I don't know, just because I had felt that.
Fantastic. Love that. So that's good.
Wow,
So is that the
production.
kind of guitar you're going to be playing?
Thank you.
You're gonna.
No, I'm definitely not going for that.
No. a couple
Ross
of weeks'
knows
time,
me a
I
lot
should,
more
like, yeah,
gentle.
I just like repeat that riff. Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to go 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Ross is going to turn me into the next Trent Reznor.
That's a great sound, Ross. That's fantastic. Like we say, great,
Thank you.
great
Thank
guitar
you so
sound,
much.
great riffs, great hooks in there as well. That's what I love about it. It's got nice. It's got everything going for it. It's great pace.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
voice.
you.
Massive production.
Ruan
very nice.
Rabi from Studio 31 did a fantastic job mixing and on the production of that bad boy. And master Rogan Kelsey. I've used Rogan for all of my like solo releases. I just think he's like amazing. And then the recording process was myself and the band. We just got into
Why don't
studio.
we just put a black screen in the studio, lots of lights, and we'll shoot a video for it in the studio.
Okay,
Let's just do it.
done. I mean,
Just black and light, white light, flat strobing, and just do like you each shoot your piece, and we paste it together as a video.
I
Okay, let's do it. Okay, done.
done.
Okay, cool.
Just like
Cool.
that.
Let me know when.
Do it soon though. It sounds like the place is going to fall down.
Is that with you, Jules, or is that with me?
That's me.
Ah.
But where are you now, Ross?
Irene, Pretoria.
Oh, yeah, okay, it could be everywhere then.
Yeah.
Quite possible.
But, it rained.
Near the rain. Grief.
I can smell it in the air.
Arthur knows all about rain.
I can smell it in the air.
I love it.
That's gorgeous.
Okay, I want to move straight into this. I want to go straight into this because I'm just feeling that rock and roll vibe right now. Let's do it. Can I do it? I can, hey, because I've got the buttons. I can
got
push
all the
play.
buttons. What am I
I've
gonna
got
do?
buttons. This is War Pigs, Black Sabbath. Live from Studio 31. Ross Harding, tell us what you think of this. I'd be dying to hear this.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning, death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh Lord, yeah. Now when darkness world stops turning, ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power. Hand of God has struck the hour. Day of judgment, God is calling. Underneath the war pigs rolling, begging mercy for their sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings. Oh Lord, yeah.
Wow.
Grazie.
Sure.
Crowd
Grazie.
went wild.
Sure, like I was going to just play like a couple of minutes of it, and then 7 minutes 23 seconds later, you're like, "Oh God, it's finished." You get caught up in it.
Why is it not carrying on? And one
Nice.
of the things that I really like about the covers of things as well. War Pigs. The first time I heard War Pigs, and there's a point to this, was the Faith No More cover of it.
Right.
That was the first time.
It's a great cover, actually.
I was not really particularly aware of Black Sabbath at the time. So I think it's one of the nice things about, obviously you kind of reference it for yourself. Like you said, it's a good connection in terms of the style, the genre that you do, and it's also connected with the song and makes sense in terms of the context of the maxi single. But I also quite like the fact that you've got the potential to introduce your fans to stuff they might not have otherwise heard.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think that's another thing that sort of people
Absolutely.
forget about. The sort of the cover thing is like, oh yeah, I've done a great version of that song, but there's sometimes an assumption that they must know it, and quite often people don't. The number of times I've heard covers by bands and gone, I have no idea what that is, and then you find the original, you find that as an
Yo, you
artist.
think it's the band's song, like this is their own tune.
Yeah, and then you kind of
Absolutely.
discover that
War
it's
Pigs
not.
by
and
Ross
they've got-
Harding Band.
Well, funny.
When did they go into these 7-minute epics? That's unusual.
I remember way back when Live first released Throwing Copper. Before Throwing Copper came out, I got a copy of the album from our mate at BMG. So my buddy and I decided to cover Lightning Crashes.
Right.
And everybody thought it was our song. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I'll be right
Because
there.
it hadn't come out yet. So we were already covering it because I was just in love with it. I thought it was one of the great songs of all time. And like we started covering it, and the gigs, people were like, "Oh, they've never heard this. What band's this?" I'm like, "No." We obviously told people. We didn't take credit for it. I was like, it's like kind of. It is amazing how people will do that. They'll think it's your song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think it's like, that's what I mean. That's one way of looking at it. But I think it's also a nice way of introducing people to music they might not otherwise come across. That you're kind of you're doing that service as well. I feel like that's what I mean.
But like me introducing the world to Depeche Mode over and over and over.
Exactly that. Yeah. This is
Yeah, it most definitely is. It's like that's kind of the point of paying tribute, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
And sometimes on the other side of the coin, to kind of Jules' point, is you can actually make the song your own to such a point that it actually feels not like you wrote the song, or you're not going to go promote it like as such, but it becomes a very integral part of your discography as an artist.
Of who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
there's plenty of examples of. I mean, I've seen internet stuff about this as well. Songs you didn't know were covers. And there, lots of examples of that as well. When it's a massive hit for a band, you go, I didn't know that wasn't theirs.
Well, it's like Sinead O'Connor doing Nothing Compares to You.
Yeah.
It's not her song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it?
We started doing
Martin.
War Pigs.
Is that a good example?
Why? Well, it
Is that a
is.
good example? Everyone knows that's not our song. Anyway, I know what you mean.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at first.
I'll be honest. I only discovered Prince or the Bee Gees or whoever did that song before. I can't remember.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
it's
just
the
joking.
Prince.
I'm just joking.
Bee
I
Good choice. That's good. Through the complete.
I want to hear the Bee Gees version of Nothing Compares to You. That's going to be insane.
That could work, actually. That could work.
No, we started doing War
I'm
Pigs.
hearing it now. It could work. It could really work. Shit. Yeah.
We started doing War Pigs with Black Harbour with Kevin Hughes, actually, just before he went to Italy, and that already was shifting the band in a whole other direction, and it's become like a set standard for us. We play pretty much every gig now.
Nice.
And it's just people dig it,
Oh, yeah, no,
It's timed
absolutely.
so well.
Who wouldn't?
Shows, yeah,
53 years old, that song.
Wow.
unbelievable.
So that old?
Well, it was released in 70. I mean, it's probably older than that, obviously. So, yeah, who knows?
Sure.
when they
And
wrote
still
it.
heavy, man.
Yeah.
Still heavy metal.
Yeah.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. Wow. Rossi, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show as always.
Appreciate you guys very much.
Guys,
Thank you for
go and
having
check
me on
out the
show.
maxi single. Everything is Black, available now on all platforms as of last Friday.
And I love
So-
that throwing the format as well. I love that is kind of, this is how we want to do this, because I think it's right that you should choose. I don't like the fact that there are distributors that determine your format, saying, you try to get on their platform and you're like, so what is it? Is it a single or an album? It's like, well, it's neither. Which
It's
box
a
does
maxi
that
single.
fit- Which box does that fit into? And some of those
No,
distributors
the,
are so crap about that. So
Yeah, our distributor has been super cool about it, and
Good.
hasn't given me any flack about the way that it's. I think that the industry is going there in general. I think in a year from now, 2 years, you're going to start seeing a lot more of this idea. People getting even more creative with it than I have. And
I hope so, because surely the whole digital environment should allow complete freedom of experimentation in terms of format, shouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you remember hearing it, Ross. I released that first single under my Dust Baron pseudonym.
right.
The single was 18 minutes long. It's the first track.
No, but-
I'm busy
well,
working on
this is
track 2, which
yeah.
is sitting at 23 minutes long.
This is a whole other conversation about the format of music and about the, maybe this is the direction that artists are going to have to take to break away from this massively saturated market.
Yep.
The amount of music that's released on Spotify on a daily basis is unbelievable. And I do think you have to do something quite special to stick out. And maybe that means just going back to maybe this is where the creation process is.
Absolutely.
As Martin mentioned earlier, it's just about saying, okay, well, we are going to release a 20-minute song. So what?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't play on daytime radio, then tough shit. They played Everything Is Black on Mix FM in the middle of the afternoon the other day, which I was really stoked about and quite surprised about, to be honest. So I obviously am very grateful for the support, but I did not expect it, to just call a spade a spade. Anything that's slightly heavy rock music or slightly over 4 minutes, no, sorry, we can't play that.
Can't play that. Yeah, I hear you.
And that is so sad, man. That is just so sad.
No, it is. Well, Ross, okay, let's shoot the video as soon as possible. Let me know. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Sooner rather than later. Or we can do it out in the black of night with the thunder and lightning around us and lighting. Doing the garden kind of
If you
vibe.
get that organised, I'll be very impressed if you can schedule that in. That'd be very good.
Hey, listen, you know.
That's it.
I know a guy. You know what?
I can fake it to make it.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Give it away.
I'm in, Jules.
Cool. I'll chat to you tomorrow because I need to phone you anyway about those guitar lessons.
Perfect. Looking
Shot
forward.
Rossi. Thanks, brother.
Good
Thanks
You
for
get
having
back
me,
to
Joe.
young.
Congratulations again
You
on the
get
new
back to
family.
young Catherine,
Thanks so much, Martin. I appreciate it very much.
and we'll chat soon.
All right, gentlemen.
Okay, buddy. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Cheers.
Brilliant.
There are people we get on this show when you know that you could just have a 2-hour conversation with that one
know.
person minimum, eh? Just be easy.
Yeah.
Like, it could really set the world to rights.
Yep. No, that you can. That you can. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, it's like literally it's come to 10 to 8 already.
Thanks, Ross, for joining us again. Always good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolute pleasure to have Ross on. Go and check it out, rosshardingmusic.com. Or
One
you
of
can
our,
find
one
him
of
on
our
all
few
socials.
co-presenters, isn't he, Ross?
Yeah, he is. You can check him out at also all social medias at Ross Harding Official. Go and check it out.
Do it.
Do it. And I thought we'd play out with one of the artists we had on last week.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just quickly do that because then I need to find it again.
Oh yes, because we couldn't play. Yes, because we couldn't play them then, could we? That's right. Yeah. Well, we could sort of background it, but yeah, not quite.
Quick
the same.
background it. But it's Cindy Louise
Nice.
was on the show with us.
good
Was
track,
she last week? Was she on last week?
Yeah, it was last week. Yeah.
Yep. And it's a song called Can't Own Me. This is the official lyric video for it. We hope you had a good time with us on the show, and thank you for joining us. This is New Music Mondays. We'll catch you on the. Are we going to do Insta Live next week?
You're in charge, man.
Let's see how we
In
feel.
fact, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna call something out this week. Can we skip a week? It's Easter Monday next week. I know it's gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
hard for
No.
people on anyway.
No, actually, I might be in Durban. So yeah, let's skip next week. We'll see you back in 2 weeks'
Let's
time.
have a little break for Easter,
Absolutely. I totally forgot it was Easter
and
weekend.
we'll be back
Yeah.
after that.
I might be in Durban anyway for a shoot. So yeah, we've got Kunya in Durban next week, and then I've got another shoot in Durban on Tuesday. So I might be there anyway. So yeah, we'll catch you the week after next. This is Can't Own Me by Cindy Louise. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Leave us a message, even if you're not watching this live. You can make a comment. You can send us a message. Do
Yeah.
it.
Chat to you later. We're out of here. Bye, everybody.
I see it in your eyes, staring at me from across the room. Yeah, I'm not lying, and I know that you hate me, 'cause you can control me. Better luck next time. Walking around the a lie.